What's up everyone, and welcome back to HateWatchers for our breakdown and review of episode 5 of The Last of Us, called Endure and Survive. Before we get into it, hit the thumbs up if you would, as it really helps our videos reach more people out there. Okay, now let's dive in. Spoilers ahead. We begin with some fireworks as the people of Kansas City are celebrating Taco Tuesday by murdering each other. Henry and Sam are hiding, and Henry is teaching Sam some gang signs. The crazy HR lady Kathleen, who somehow became the ringleader of these people, is hosting the weekly AA meeting. But her voice just makes everyone want to pick the bottle up again. She tells the group, "You will tell me the attic that Henry and Sam are hiding in." Like her idol, she dehumanizes her enemies.
You're a rat.
Henry and Sam get put up in Edelstein's attic to hide from the fascist tyrant with a little bit of a mustache. I think I've heard this story before. Sam is deaf, but now Henry is checking to see if he's blind too. Moving ahead 10 days, Sam is becoming one of the best artists alive. During this apocalypse anyway. With Edelstein likely dead, Henry and Sam decide it's time to leave, but not until they're done doing Ninja Turtles face painting. Their fun is interrupted by Joel's poor driving and his violent road rage. Henry corrects Sam's handling of a gun, which was inspired by Alec Baldwin. Moving to the here and now, Henry and Sam turn to a life of crime, beginning with robbing Joel and Ellie. Let's check in and see how Joel is handling things.
Everything is great.
Joel hands Sam his trash, and Sam tells his brother, "You see the shit this guy just did?" The four of them come up with a Home Alone level plan on how to escape the city, which involves going through the tunnels that are loaded with infected. They put the plan into action, heading through the seemingly empty maintenance tunnels. Sam, full of hope, reaches for equality, but Joel stops him. So close. Sam and Ellie are nerds, and they start comparing their comic book collections. Then Ellie just starts repeating the episode title.
Endure and survive. Endure, survive. Endure, survive. Fuck yeah, man.
Joel starts to have a heart-to-heart with Henry.
I think the police are fucked up towards black people.
We learn that Henry traded info to Fedra for chemo meds for Sam, and it got the resistance leader at the time killed, who just so happened to be Kathleen's brother. Then, out of nowhere, Henry switches gears to start talking about baby daddy business.
You might not be her father, but you were someone's.
The resistance leader is standing around looking like a potato when Sergeant Beard comes in just to sit and listen to her entire life story and all of her problems. She at least admits that she's a potato.
He was so beautiful. I'm not.
It appears that the group's Mickey Mouse plan actually worked, and they're almost out of town. That is until they run into a sniper. Joel says, "Fuck this shit, I'm out. Good luck, y'all." Psych. He chooses to kill the sniper instead, who it turns out is just the shovel guy from Home Alone, keeping watch over the neighborhood as always. The sniper radioed the resistance though, and they come barging in. Joel provides some cover fire, but the militia is rolling 100 deep. Catherine is talking Henry into surrendering to his own execution, but then a crashed truck falls into the earth, letting loose hundreds of infected. Henry, Sam, and Ellie make a run for it, and Ellie gets left behind. But her guardian angel with a sniper rifle, Joel, is watching over her. This guy stops fighting when he gets pulled into a zombie four-way. The infected mountain emerges from the hole and tears off Sergeant Beard's beard in a fit of jealousy. Ellie escapes a clicker and sees Henry and Sam struggling with some infected. Joel gets annoyed with how long this is taking and shoots at Ellie to speed things up. Kathleen catches up to them, but her big speech she had all planned out gets interrupted by a kid throwing a temper tantrum.
Shut the fuck up!
Joel invites Henry and Sam to Wyoming with them, and, well, it looks like the team endured and survived this eventful episode, and all signs are pointing toward a bright future. That is until Sam rolls up his pant leg and shows Ellie that he's infected. And Ellie is not even worried, and she's like, "It's cool, bro," and cuts her hand as part of a blood pact. She thinks she's cured him by rubbing her blood on the open wound. In the morning, Sam apparently didn't sleep too well and he attacks Ellie. The ruckus wakes up Joel and Henry in an instant blows his brother away before taking his own life. Joel digs 2 graves before setting off westward with Ellie, and the episode comes to an end. Well, we've reached that point in the video where we have to decide if this episode was a great watch or a hate watch. And despite one major issue with this episode, the show got back on track with another great watch episode after 2 mediocre showings. The first thing to talk about is the awesome scene with the infected absolutely overrunning the resistance fighters. This scene right here is what people wanted to see more of from zombie shows. The entire season doesn't have to be one zombie confrontation after another, but when The Walking Dead made a habit of forgetting that zombies existed for long stretches, this scene alone gives us hope that the creators of this show might handle things better in the long run. Of course, we just had 2 episodes prior to this with virtually no zombie threat, so we'll see if this episode was just a one-off. Also, that bloater was terrifyingly awesome. Fingers crossed we see a few more of those. Now let's move to the one thing that almost ruined this episode, the reveal of Sam's infection. We could be a bit biased, as we've seen how this plays out differently in the game, but even from an objective standpoint, Sam revealing his bite to Ellie, who thinks she can rub her blood on it and fix it, is just strange. The creators were going for some emotional moment where Ellie is trying to be a hero, but it's just too illogical for viewers to get behind. Ellie is 14. She should know damn well that rubbing an open wound on another open wound is not equivalent to a blood transfusion. The idea that she wouldn't tell Henry or Joel is ludicrous, and it ruins what was a truly shocking event in the game. This version took some of the emotional weight out of it, and Henry holding Joel at gunpoint after shooting Sam doesn't make any sense beyond him being in shock. At least in the game, Henry momentarily blames Joel for this happening, which would give him some reasoning behind turning the gun on Joel. Changing the reveal of Sam's infection this way is just such a strange choice from a storytelling perspective. It wasn't a bad scene, but it was categorically worse than what we got in the game. It's not the first time the show has done it either, which is weird. Remember, they totally glossed over the reveal of Ellie's infection in the first episode as well. Tessa's infection was handled fairly ceremoniously, but Ellie and Sam's were just like, look, I'm infected. Hey, did you see that bird over there? These are pretty critical emotional moments, and for whatever reason, the show keeps flubbing them. It's odd to say the least, especially considering these are the easiest scenes to get right. They're already written and acted out in the game. Another change was that Sam wasn't deaf in the game. I don't think it really added anything to the story, but it didn't take away anything either, so it's not a bad change. Also, they left out the scene where Henry and Sam choose to leave Ellie and Joel behind, but end up saving them later. It's a minor change, but it's worth noting. There were a couple of good Easter eggs that came out of this one, like introducing us to Ellie's love of comic books, which she collects in the game. And I didn't play the game, I only watched it, so I didn't catch this, but there's a reference to some characters, one of whom is named Ish. If you played the game, apparently there's a number of references to these characters and notes you can find throughout. Other than those points, the show didn't make me care about Kathleen, the Resistance leader's backstory at all. I don't think it was handled that poorly or anything, it just didn't land for me, I don't know. All in all, I think this was very close to being an amazing episode, but it fell just short. But that still leaves it in the Great Watch category, so shoot for the stars and you'll get to the moon and all that. Let us know in the comments. Did you think this awesome zombie scene made up for the past 2 filler episodes? Did you feel invested in Kathleen's story? Please remember to like the video if you liked it, and think about hitting the subscribe button below if you haven't already to stay up to date on the first season of The Last of Us. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll catch you on the next one.